Hey y'all, I'm Cece and I was asked to do the weekly words, and this week it's on making sure camp is still in your life after camp. And I think it's one of the most important things to focus on because you go through such a change at camp. You make all of these truths and you find out more about your authentic self. But at the same time, when you're going through this process, you are surrounded by all these like-minded people. You're surrounded by almost a bubble of love, and not just love from other people, but from yourself. And I think when you go back home, you're still on that journey. You're still finding your authentic self, but I think it's more of a active thing to remember, for you to realize that that same love from others and that same self-love can still be created in your everyday normal life. I remember I had just gotten back from winter camp 2015 and I had been elected to be the co-director for Rocky Mountain winter camp 2016. And at the time I was kind of nervous, but everyone at camp was so supportive when I got elected, and I was so excited. And I went back home and I was expecting the initial support, the same level as I had at camp. And my parents, when I came back, they weren't instantly excited for me. I mean, they were proud of me, but a lot of their reactions weren't like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. It was more like, oh, well, how's that going to work out with school? How are you going to get the money for it? And I think a lot of those were fear-based comments, and coming from 3 days of being in my love bubble of, you're powerful, you co-create, there's no reason for fear. To have fear thrown in my face as I got off the plane was very overwhelming. And I think a lot of that is what leads to, the post-camp depression, I wish I could just be at camp, and just getting discouraged. But I think coming back from camp and having those situations and experiences are almost just as important as being at camp, because life's always changing and you're going to be thrown in so many experiences and situations, and it's so important to learn to always recognize your truth. So, I listened to my parents and heard them out, but then I just said to myself, you're powerful, you co-create, and if what you want is to be the 2016 co-director, then the how will show up. And I went through that experience with that mindset, and I just got back from winter camp 2016 and I was co-director, and it was the best experience ever. But it took a few minutes to kind of breathe, and I had to realize that even though the people around me weren't having that mindset, I still had to have that mindset. I had to still apply the things that I learned at camp, and you don't do it alone. I called up my friends from camp, I texted them, I talked to practitioners over the phone, even through text, and constantly reminding myself of my truth. And I just want you to know that you are supported and you are loved, and don't forget to reach out after camp, because these experiences you're going through, they're hard and they're much needed because they're going to grow you, but you can still bring camp in that mindset that you had at camp along the way. And even though what you're going through isn't showing up like the experience you had at camp, you can still learn as much and get as much out of it. And I always have my stroke book on me, and there's just so many ways, just because the bubble of love isn't as, I guess, you can't see it, it's not as obvious, it's still there if you look through it. There's so many ways you can be supportive, you just have to reach out, because the connections that you make at camp, they're lifelong. And bringing camp into your daily life could be as simple as doing a daily gratitude, taking you time every day, even if it's not for an hour, just 10 minutes, or even just, you know, sitting down every day and just saying your truth, saying I am powerful, or at least that's what I would do. So I love you all. Thank you so much, and I hope that you guys are being able to bring a little bit of camp home with you.